Today would have been United States Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's 88th birthday. The iconic and glass ceiling shattering justice died last fall, but her legacy lives on, as does her love of opera. And a new event right here in Philadelphia will pay homage to her and to the performances that she loved so much. Joining us now is Dan Samuels, the public programs manager at the National Museum of American Jewish History. Dan, good morning and welcome to Philly Live.
Morning, Aunyea. How you doing?
I am doing great. Dan, you've got to tell us all about For the Love of Opera and what visitors to the museum will experience when they see it.
Well, I am a music nerd, and we here at the museum are just huge fans of RBG, so this is something we're extremely excited about. It's also one of our first virtual events where we will be featuring brand new original recorded content. We've partnered with Opera Philadelphia, and in our theater we had several of their amazing artists singing many of the late Justice Ginsburg's favorite arias from her favorite operas, which often have to do with legal issues that she was deeply involved in during her career. We have the director of opera, Peter Cazares, director of opera at UCLA, hosting. We have remarks and memories from people that Justice Ginsburg worked with in the opera world, like the great tenor Lawrence Brownlee. We have interviews with both of her children. So it will really just be a great night of music and memories.
Yeah, this sounds like it's going to be a fantastic event. How did you guys come up with the idea, though, to mark her birthday in such a special way?
You know, I have to give credit where credit is due. We have a great member of our team whose name is Susan Weiss, and maybe she'll flinch that I'm giving her credit on screen, but she came up with this idea months ago and planted it in my head. She said, what if we just did a live opera event? Susan knows I'm really into music, and I said, okay, give me some time, let me work on this. And we reached out to Opera Philadelphia. We have great partners also at the Lowell Milken Center for Music of American Jewish Experience. That's out at UCLA. And we all sort of got together and thought, this is something that will go really well. This is a great warm way to celebrate the life and the work and the art that she is known to have loved the most. And there are just so many stories of her being a huge fan of all these young opera singers, and you'll hear some of that if you tune into the event. And then you'll just hear and see great performances from such amazing talent and people who have such fine control of their bodies that they can sing in such beautiful ways. So it's again, both memories and great performances.
And people should know that Justice Ginsburg was the 21st inductee into the museum's Only in America Gallery Hall of Fame. So talk about why you chose to honor her and what that honor means now.
Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, you know, she led such an exemplary life, and I think the choice to honor her while I wasn't around at the museum when it happened was an obvious one for the selection committee. She's obviously done so much for our nation. But is a leading figure in the Jewish world as well. And we know that on the walls of her chamber, there were words from the Hebrew text, which translate to say, "Justice, justice you shall pursue." And so we know that not only was a great inspiration for her in her work, but also, as I said earlier, transitioned over into her love of opera and which ones were her favorite.
As such a fan of the arts, can you imagine what her reaction would be to this show, knowing that it honors her and her love of opera?
There's a lot of stories that have been told about what it was like to bring RBG into the performance halls that she visited to see her favorite pieces. And it was a very choreographed affair. She was led in often at the Kennedy Center from stage right. The lights would go down, and she would sort of, you know, hunch over, keep her head down, but the rooms would just explode with energy. I'm getting the chills thinking about it. Everyone would stand up on their feet, give a huge ovation. But everybody said she always tried to be discreet and humble. So I imagine this would be no different, and she would give a very humble thanks and take her seat and try to just enjoy the show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, Dan Samuels from the National Museum of American Jewish History, thank you so much for joining us and talking with us today on Philly Live.
Thanks, Aunyea, for having me.